The Prentice Alsop Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Bowen's Body Shop. From dings and dents to full body work, trust Jeff and Kyle Bowen to do the job right. They're located on Middle Tennessee Boulevard. Danny Brewer back with you. You know, right now I'm tasting a glass of sweet tea because I've got the legendary Lonnie Drayton on the phone, Smyrna icon, Lady Bulldog leader. Coach, how are you this morning?
I'm good, man. How's it going?
Good, Coach. You know, for those who don't know, I'm just going to go ahead and read a little bit off of your resume here. You know, I remember when you were raining down threes as a boys basketball player on the Bulldog squad. You know, I remember that. You know, and then you graduated college. Boys basketball assistant, boys basketball head coach. You know, softball leader now. Lady Bulldog leader. Coach, I mean, what do you not do over there at Smyrna High School?
Hey, that's a good question. I think you need to get with Dr. Sutherland, our principal, and tell her that I might need a little more. I mean, a little more a cut of the payment out here. So,
you reckon so? Well, see, what I want to try to do is get you on the Trump Hour schedule. You know, because I think.
That's the key right there.
Yeah, you know, if you can reach the Tony Trump Hour level, then you've actually achieved. You know, of course, me and Coach Trump are real close. But anyway, yeah, he's top shelf.
That's right. Hey, I mean, how many people are working every day in the room in a building that's named after you? I mean, that's when you know you are big time. We've got the Tony Trump Hour Aquatic Center, and he gets up every day and shows kids who runs it right there. I mean, that's Mr. Rake's level right there.
You know, you're absolutely right. And, of course, you know, Coach Trump, he's not a guy that's, that's about, hey, look at me or anything like that. Not at all. But he said something one day because somebody – said something, and of course Coach Trumpauer is very regimented and very disciplined, and somebody said something to him about something in the swimming pool, changed something in the swimming pool. He said, well, I don't think we're going to do that because it says Tony Trumpauer Aquatic Center, so I'm going to decide what's going to happen in there.
Perfect.
Yeah. So all right, so let's just dispense with our rhetoric and let's talk about Lady Bulldog basketball because that's what we're here for. The week. Let's talk a little bit about the week that was. Wilson County. You played Wilson Central and Lebanon. Talk a little bit about those two games, coaching. What happened?
I'm gonna tell you, Lebanon. This district is it's unbelievable. The talent that's out there. You know, these girls. That Lebanon team was unbelievable, and then to see that they lost to Cookville girls last night, that's a shocker too. I mean, it's not really a shocker because Cookville's awesome. But Lebanon, our girls, and you know, we're young. That's what people don't understand. We have two seniors, but one plays, starts and plays significant minutes a lot. But for the most part, we're out there with three freshmen playing and two sophomores or three sophomores playing, and I mean, I don't even one junior plays some minutes, but we really are young, and a lot of it is being introduced to things at a high level high school division right there. So when you have Lebanon coming in, and these girls are older, they play with each other all summer, and they play the game at 100 miles per hour, and it was almost a slap in the face. But it was learned. I mean, I think our girls learned, and they took it to Wilson Central last night, and we came out there with guns a-blazing, and we're up significant at halftime. I think we're up by 7 at halftime against Wilson Central at Wilson Central, and then some certain things didn't go our way, and it was a free throw game at the end, and that wasn't our strong point. We ended up losing by 6 or 7. So it was but you take the Lebanon game, the learning from the Lebanon game, and they smacked us in the face. So you take that game, and then you go and have the other game, the Wilson Central game, and our kids, learned and acclimated and went out there with what they learned in the Lebanon game and applied it. So it was good.
Coach, one of the things that I've seen from this year's squad is you're very competitive. The girls are very competitive. They play hard. They try really hard. You've got several different girls that can play. The freshmen are very encouraging, and I know they're freshmen, but the best thing about freshmen is they become sophomores.
That's right. And we've got one of our freshmen. I mean, we got a couple of freshmen, but the little number 24, Micaiah James, she's as athletic as they come. She's probably the most athletic girl. I mean, great basketball size. You know when she walks in the gym, she's a player. And she's a freshman. So one of the things we're dealing with is body language. When you're frustrated, not tearing up and, going out there, flushing the bad play and coming to make the next play. That's the mentality that we got to have. And when you're coaching, and I've got daughters, as well as my basketball and softball daughters. I've got, blood daughters that I've raised, and you have to handle, female athletes a little differently sometimes, and they have to understand how to apply it, how to go, about bad situations and, how to battle back from them, how to be resilient in that capacity. So, it's fun to watch them. They compete. These girls, from top to bottom, these freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors, and it's sort of, people don't understand. I actually had one of our girls come up to me last night after the game and apologize. I've never had a player apologize because they didn't take a charge. Coach, I'm sorry. You told me in practice to get in front and move my feet, and I sort of jumped at her, and I'm sorry. Next time, I promise I'll make that play for you. That's, after you lose a close game, a kid comes up to you and says something like that. It almost makes me, have to, tell them to walk away because I'm not trying to see my eyes tear up in front of them. I got to be a tough guy. So.
Right. Well, yeah, being the tough guy can be tough in that situation, but that's what brings you back every day and why you get up every morning and do it, right, Coach? Things like that.
It really is, and it's encouraging. I look at it, and me and you have talked about this. We've got teams that might be undefeated, 25-0, but their girls come to practice miserable the next day. They come to practice and they don't want to work as hard. They just want to go up and play the games. Our girls every single day come to practice and work their butts off. They act like every practice is a game. And every drill we do, every defensive stance and they are sweating, they're going hard. Some of them are even, saying they're sore at the end of practice, so I don't want that, but I want them to go hard and understand the way you have to play. If you're going to flip a program, you have to play hard. You have to practice hard. You have to go game speed all the time, so it makes the games easier. Coach,
when you talk about your young team, the growth you've seen from the first practice to right now, talk about that growth, and are you happy with where you're at, or give me your thoughts on that?
Right, I'm happy at in certain capacities. I'm happy at certain things. My biggest thing is let's not make the same mistakes we made in November. At our first practices in our first official practices in November. Let's not make the same mistakes. Let's have growth every single practice. If you find yourself, doing the same thing we're coaching you not to do in February or into January, we got a problem then. So, and you have to revisit it a lot. Every coach knows that you have to revisit it a lot. Teenage kids will be teenage kids. So we have to touch base on every practice. And the thing is when they start applying it in games, they start applying it in practices. I love to see the growth right there. So if we can find a way to always consistently, not revert back to the same mistakes that we made earlier, that's when we're getting better. Let's make new mistakes. So we can correct those as well. So.
I think that's the challenge of every coach. Let's talk about what we got coming up, Coach. Big week. I know Friday night is Laverne. You've been part of the Smyrna-Laverne rivalry in many aspects, in many different sports. So, Smyrna-Laverne is special, but this game is especially special because of who's on the other bench, and that's your old buddy and rival Steve Carter. Talk a little bit about what you got going on for Friday night.
That's right. That's it's a huge game. Being that first off, it's a district game. Second off, it's one of my best friends, growing up. It's one of my guys right there. So spend the night over each other's house. My mom thinks that's her other son, So it's always, it's always competitive. Like I want Steve to beat everybody in the district but us, and Steve's family, when his dad was here, I used to talk to him, Mr. Carter, all the time, Donnie Carter, all the time, and and he would tell me flat out, that's my son. I go for my son, but I'm never gonna root against you if I'm Bulldog.
There you go.
That's just how the community sees it right there. So you'll see in that Smyrna-Laverne game, you'll see a lot of old Smyrna faces that are sitting on in the middle of the court. Because you got two Smyrna guys basically going up against each other. So, it's a fun thing. But, as far as the girls are concerned, it's sort of weird because, I was talking to Omar, our boys coach, the other day, and, he deals with the same thing. These kids see, like, when I was playing, it was Smyrna-Laverne. The city shut down. It was standing room only at these games. And now, the kids look at it as, this is a big game. This is it's a big Laverne game, but they don't see it as the same rivalry capacity because of all the schools that are around here. So they see more. They might look at especially the boys look at Stewart's Creek more of the rivalry instead of because that's the kids that they went to school with. So as a coach, I still the biggest rivalry to me is Smyrna-Laverne. Like, I look at, I don't see Blackman in Riverdale. I see it's the Oakland and Riverdale game.
Right, right, yeah, because you're old school.
Exactly. That's how we grew up. There were 4 high schools. There was Smyrna-Laverne, Oakland, and Riverdale.
Right.
That
right.
was what it was.
Yeah, absolutely right, Coach. Absolutely right. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. We wish you the best of luck. It's going to be a big night next Friday at Smyrna when Smyrna and Laverne play. It's going to be a huge night. I think there's going to be a Legends shootout at halftime of the girls' game. Phyllis Hall is going to shoot out against Patty Floyd Short, both girls basketball legends. The boys' game at halftime of it's going to be Felix Sales versus O.J. Smith in a free throw shooting contest. So it's going to be, we got Legends night, it's Smyrna-Laverne night. It's going to be really special. I encourage everyone to get out there and see it, Coach. We wish you the best of luck. Have a good week.
Hey, you too. Thanks a lot, bud.
Yes, sir. The Coaches Show is brought to you by Dan France Concrete, a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. That's Dan France Concrete.
If you need concrete work done, who would I call? Dan France Concrete.